Danny Flexon here for SecondsOut, my old friend Craig Spider Richards at the Matchroom Elite Gym in Essex. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. I see you've been working hard in anticipation, presumably, of your vacant British light heavyweight title fight against Shakan Pitters. What's it going to be like facing up to someone, and I mean that literally, who's taller than you?
You know, like when I look at all my performances, like my best performances in the amateurs, anytime I've like even good spars, it's always against taller opposition. I feel like I actually operate better with taller opposition. It's the same thing like when Jake said, have you ever faced someone as big as me, as strong? You saw how I got him out of there. It doesn't really faze me, to be honest. I'm an adaptable fighter, I'm a strong fighter. You know, I've got a high IQ, so I'll make it happen when it comes down to it.
How difficult or not is it to find quality sparring for this sort of opposition when it is someone who doesn't have normal physical stature for the weight?
To be honest, I thought it was going to be hard, but it's not going to be hard. Got a good line of sparring lined up. People physically stronger, more awkward opponents. Yeah, I think the sparring is going to be very good, interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's like a puzzle, unraveling a puzzle, and I love challenges. So I'm just looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting there and doing what I do best.
You've always been quite friendly with Joshua Buatsi, of course, and you never seemed particularly keen on you two fighting at domestic level. Were you quite glad in that sense that he moved on from the belt and that you now going to be fighting Shakan instead?
Yeah, it's not really about glad or not glad. It's just like I've got my path. I'm going forward in my career. He's moving forward in his career. Of course, like we're from the same area. I'm causing up noise in the light heavyweight division. Obviously, checking the CV, I've probably beat the most credible opponents in the light heavyweight division. Joshua Buatsi is Olympian. They've been pushing him, getting behind him, so he's got his buzz. So I just believe, like in time, that fight, as I always said, will be big in the future, and it will be, you know, good for business as well. Apart from that, I've just been doing my own thing and moving forward. Fight with Shakan Pitters. It's a good fight. He's another good operator. English champion, won the Ultimate Boxing Tournament. You know, I've seen a few of his fights, so it's another good one to put on the CV as another good win. So I'm looking forward to it.
You were the outstanding candidate when the belt became vacant. There was contention over who would be facing you. And I know Cody Davis's camp have been particularly happy that he wasn't chosen. What do you make of it between him and Shakan Pitters? Who's got the better claim?
To be honest, I thought that Cody Davis was going to be the opponent because, of course, he boxed for the final. He boxed for an eliminator against Zach Chelly. Obviously, I knew there was another eliminator coming up after that, and he just boxed for the English. And we know a lot of people who's been English champion, defended it 3-4 times, and they wasn't vacant for the British. So I think he was very fortunate to get in this position. Unlucky for Cody Davis, maybe he'll get his shot afterwards. So yeah, it was a shock, but it is what it is. Boxing's like that. There's twists and turns. You just got to get on with it.
We hear this show that takes place on is likely to be in London. Is that any sort of boost for you? I guess it means you can bring more people at least.
Nah, I think my people would have travelled regardless. But of course, I like boxing in London. It's my hometown, home city. You know, it's going to be Birmingham versus London. So it's going to be interesting. You know, we've had battles in London. I had my last fight at the battle in London, etc. And now it'll be battle in London against someone else. So it just keep building. After you do that, then maybe one day it'll be England versus someone. You know, so it's all part of the journey, all part of the process. I've been here before and just got to do what I've got to do. You know, as you keep seeing, I keep working hard, executing the game plan and going out and getting the job done.
You seem quite conscious of your own journey and exactly which way you're going. So what either fighters or belts or routes are you looking at the moment beyond Shakan Pitters?
Of course, the British was what I always wanted to get. Well, it's not always what I wanted to get, but it's part of the stepping stone of the journey. I believe that it's a good, credible belt. I came into the game, got a domestic title straight away, 7 fights in. I thought I'd get the British, maybe possibly a European and world. The main aim is always to get the world title. As any fighter wants, you know, that's what we're striving towards, that's what we learn every day. We're working towards that, getting better and better to fulfill our dreams. But a British title is always credible, you know, being the King of Britain. So it's something like it would mean a lot winning that and moving forward from there, really.
You talked about wanting a world title ultimately. We look at the world scene at the moment. Who, in your opinion, is the best light heavyweight in the world?
Beterbiev. I'd say Beterbiev. He's a beast of a guy. 15 wins, 15 KOs. He looks the real deal, you know. So I'd probably say him.
Do you expect Canelo to stick around at 175? I know Dimitri Bivol's asked for the fight, but do we think he'll go back down?
No, I don't think that he'll stick around for the fight. I think that he's won the world title now. He's ticked the box and he'll go back to his proper weight. There's loads of big fights for him down at super middleweight. There's loads of big fights for him at middleweight. So there's no reason for him to really stick around at light heavyweight. I don't feel like at this point, being a big cash cow of boxing, he's got a lot to prove at this weight now. In boxing at all, he's going to sell regardless. Biggest star in boxing. So he's got loads of big fights, and I think it'll be less risk for him to go down and fight someone in his own weight.
Brilliant. Well, Craig, we really appreciate your time, and we look forward to the date being announced for the fight with Shakan Pitters for the British.
Thank you for your time as well.